Jungkook's 1.8 billion streams exposed the truth. Is the US music industry still afraid of K-pop dominance? The silence was louder than applause. When Jungkook, the youngest member of BTS, crossed the unbelievable mark of 1.8 billion streams on Spotify this year, his third consecutive year doing so, it should have been celebrated across every major music publication in the world. But instead of headlines, there was hesitation. Instead of recognition, there was restraint. In that quiet, one truth became clear. The American music industry still doesn't know how to handle K-pop's unstoppable power. This is not merely about numbers. It's about control, pride, and fear. Jungkook's achievement isn't a coincidence. It's the reflection of a cultural movement too vast to be contained. Every stream, every fan interaction, every viral performance reminds the world that music has changed forever. What was once dismissed as a trend from Asia has now redefined the global standard, and the Western industry, long accustomed to being the tastemaker of the world, is struggling to catch up. As of June 2025, BTS has officially completed their military service, and while the world eagerly anticipates their reunion, Jungkook has been quietly proving that even during the group's hiatus, the power of BTS never truly paused. His streaming dominance, his fashion influence, his unrelenting hold over social media, these are not signs of a temporary phenomenon. These are signs of evolution. Yet, major US outlets seem almost allergic to giving him the spotlight he deserves. It's strange, isn't it? When a Western artist hits 1 billion streams, the world calls it history. When Jungkook does it, the story is rewritten to sound like an exception, a curiosity, a momentary glitch in the system. But there's nothing momentary about him. Jungkook's success is methodical, consistent, and powerful. He didn't need an English-language rebranding to break into global charts. He didn't rely on Hollywood collaborations to stay relevant. His authenticity, his voice, his artistry, his story did the work. And that, perhaps, is what scares the industry most. The American music establishment has built its empire on the belief that global recognition flows through its channels. That to be mainstream, you must pass through its filters, its validation, its stages. But Jungkook bypassed them all. He reached audiences directly, organically, without compromise. The more he succeeded without needing them, the more their authority began to fracture. And now, as his numbers rise higher, their silence grows heavier. The reality is that Jungkook represents something far larger than himself. He represents the end of a monopoly, the moment the global audience realized that great music doesn't have to come from the West to be universal. His artistry has become a cultural mirror, reflecting the insecurities of an industry that has long underestimated everything outside its borders. When the US media downplays his success, they aren't ignoring him. They're protecting themselves from acknowledging that they've lost control of the narrative. And make no mistake, the world sees it. Fans see it. Analysts see it. Even artists see it. Every day, American listeners are adding K-pop songs to their playlists without even realizing they're breaking cultural barriers. Every new act from Korea, like the rookie group AHOF, whose debut sold over 369,000 copies in its first week, continues to prove that the global appetite for Korean music isn't slowing, it's expanding. The industry can't bury that truth forever. When BTS enlisted in 2022, many predicted that K-pop's global momentum would fade. Yet, as of 2025, the exact opposite has happened. Jungkook's global dominance during their hiatus has not only kept the group's legacy alive, but made it stronger. The group's temporary break turned into a global demonstration of their permanence. Even in silence, BTS ruled the world. And now that all 7 members have completed their service, the anticipation of their full return has already become the single most anticipated event in modern music. So, why the hesitation from the US industry? Why the muted response? Perhaps because deep down, they know that Jungkook's success has rewritten the rules of global pop forever. He didn't just join the ranks of the biggest stars, he changed the definition of what it means to be one. His journey from a teenage trainee in Busan to the most streamed Asian soloist in Spotify history is a story that doesn't need American endorsement to matter. It matters because it's real. It matters because it's earned. Jungkook's impact stretches far beyond charts and numbers. It's emotional, it's cultural, it's revolutionary. His rise is the culmination of decades of Asian artists fighting for recognition in a Western-dominated system that never made room for them. And now that he's standing at the top, the system is forced to face the truth it avoided for years. The future of pop is no longer dictated by geography. It's dictated by connection. That's why this moment is more than a milestone. It's a reckoning. Every muted headline, every cautious review, but attached to Jungkook's achievements reveals a fear that's been brewing for years, the fear of losing control over global culture. But history has shown that fear doesn't stop change. It only delays it. And Jungkook, with his voice, his presence, and his humility, is change itself. When he stands on stage, millions watch not because he's part of a phenomenon, but because he is one. His artistry transcends language. His performance turns stadiums into spiritual experiences. His success doesn't need translation. It's understood in every heartbeat of his fans. And no amount of silence from American media can erase that truth. The dominance of K-pop is not something to be feared. It's something to be recognized. It's a sign that the world is evolving, that art is finally escaping the boundaries it never belonged to. But until the US industry learns to embrace that evolution, Jungkook's success will continue to haunt them as both a warning and a promise, because he's not waiting for their approval. He's already proven that he doesn't need it, and maybe that's what frightens them the most. The fear didn't begin in 2025. It began years ago, quietly behind industry doors that have long decided who gets to win, who gets airplay, and who gets erased. Jungkook's rise wasn't supposed to happen according to those old rules. Yet here he is, standing higher than ever, outstreaming Western pop icons who once defined an era, and doing it without surrendering his identity. This isn't just a victory for K-pop, it's a dismantling of the old power structure that told Asian artists they could only be global if they became Western enough. Jungkook did the opposite. He stayed true, and the world came to him. Still, one question remains in the shadows. Why are Western gatekeepers pretending not to see it? The numbers are undeniable. Jungkook didn't just hit 1.8 billion streams once. He's done it 3 years in a row. His name trends globally every time he breathes online. His music videos surpass hundreds of millions of views within days, sometimes hours. Even during BTS's military hiatus, his solo tracks have not only charted, they've dominated. Yet, US awards shows rarely mention him. Major magazines that once capitalized on BTS's fame have quietly avoided giving him solo cover stories. Some insiders whisper that there's a deeper resistance, one not written in press releases, but felt in the industry's silence. K-pop represents a threat to an entire business model built on cultural hierarchy. The idea that American pop sits on the throne and everything else revolves around it has been profitable for decades. But Jungkook's success, along with that of his fellow BTS members, has proven that the throne is no longer exclusive. The empire is crumbling, and the crown now belongs to whoever connects most with a global heart.